hear that all the time. Let me tell you what a libertarian is. Libertarian is someone who says you can be as liberal or as conservative as you want to be. Just don't force others to be like you.
Got it.
That's what we are all about. We are all about long-term solutions, not short-term solutions. We're all about changing culture, not just changing law. Law, we have to remember something. At the end of almost every single law is a guy or a gal with a gun who will put you in a cage. And if you don't want to go in that cage, he or she is going to kill you. That means you only use law when it really matters, not just because I'm angry, not because I don't like you, not because you should do some activity I think you shouldn't do or whatever the case may be. It's only for important things like life and liberty and property and things like that. That's when you use violence. That's when you use force. That's what libertarians are all about. Welcome to Libertarians Drinking Coffee Live. Yes, we have been off for a few weeks, but we're back. I know that we've been doing a lot of candidates who were running. Election time is over. We've gone to activists and also those who are former candidates also, but we are drinking coffee, so the brand is strong. Absolutely. We have to do it, 100%. I want to make sure you guys go out here, like, comment, share. It does matter. Let people know we're doing this. Let people see what's going on. Click that like button. Click that comment. Comment and say how handsome I am, because I am handsome. So say that. But if you disagree, say I'm not handsome. I don't care. Let the algorithms pick it up so that people will watch and see what we are doing. I am very lucky today. I have with me someone who has done a lot, both as an activist, as a candidate, who's walked the walk, and now is hopefully talking the talk, going to tell us what's going on. From Nebraska, former candidate, see if I get her name right. It is Mercadies, if I get it right, Damratowski.
That is correct. Thank
Look
you.
at me rocking and rolling. Damratowski, how are you?
I am well. I am joining you today from Nebraska with Sophocles, who is the top kitty, and Ivory. Nemesis, the naughty puppy, our vice president.
He has to be naughty. His name is Nemesis.
Yep, her name is Nemesis.
Oh, her name.
Yeah,
Sorry.
She's a girl. It's okay. I didn't tell you the pronouns. It's fine.
Her name is Nemesis.
Her name is Nemesis. She is Spike Cohen's god puppy.
Oh, I like that.
At the Nebraska rally, so she is a presidential puppy.
I like that.
So yeah, I met Spike this year, and
So for more information on Nebraska, you head over to lpne.org, and you can check out Libertarian Party of Nebraska.
Yes.
So I have to ask you, there were many ways you could have made impact this year, right? You chose to run for office, and you chose this specific state office. I'm curious as to why. Why did you pick that specific office to run for?
Well, I, as a Nebraskan, our politic and our political system is different from anywhere else in the country because we have the unicameral. So in each of our districts, we elect a state senator who represents our district to go to Lincoln, the state capital, to legislate for us. So that gives a lot of power to our actual individual legislatures in.
So hold on, just so the audience knows, unicameral means there's only one house in their state. Most states have two.
I like to equate it to Star Wars when they're in the Senate and all of the senators come together and it's one uniform body. And so because of that, and being where I'm at, I'm in Kearney. So we're a town, a university city. We have a state university here. It's UNK. And we're right off the interstate, so we get cross-country. Oh, Rooster just got in trouble with Sophocles. My boxer is boxing the cats.
Taking charge.
He's naughty. So, puppies, please be nice. So because we're right off the interstate, we have the university, we focus heavily on global trade and global economics, and national because Nebraska is ag heavy. We have a lot of manufacturing. I'm a certified welder. That's what I went to college for. I am a farm girl. So in our local government, in my city, I am lucky enough that our local government hates this state. So
I'm not sure that's lucky, but okay.
It's lucky because
depends on how you look at it.
From a libertarian standpoint, it's lucky.
Okay, I'll buy that.
Because we have a council of 5, and within the council, they elect the president. And so on our council of 5, we have 2 independent members who are unaffiliated, no party, because in Nebraska we have a large population of independent voters because we have the unicameral. So in
Gotcha.
Nebraska, the political system of the two-party system isn't supposed to matter.
Got it.
And,
okay. I
and
got
so
you.
it's nice. I enjoy our political system, and any threat to that is a threat to my happiness.
So you went off and ran to make this happen.
Mm-hmm.
When was it what you expected? When it was all said and done, were you like, yeah, that's kind of what I expected? Or were you like, no way, that's not what I expected?
Yes and no. I was involved heavily in like student leadership in high school. I was a band nerd. I was in band leadership. I founded clubs. I was just that girl that was always active and in leadership positions because I had nothing else better to do.
Okay.
And because of that, I kind of knew what to do being a candidate and running. But when I filed for my candidacy at the beginning of the year, the pandemic was just a rumor in Italy still. And so we kind of preemptively, people in government who pay attention preemptively heard that. So I was like, okay, how is this going to impact this year? And then I saw what was happening. And then I realized that this year's going to be like unlike any other year we've ever had in the history of our country.
Mm-hmm.
It was going to be an opportunity for libertarian candidates to actually pull through because depending on what the government did, we could counteract that with our own.
Oh,
values.
I see. Okay, so you saw this as an advantage.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yes. I've been very positive all year. I've had COVID, and it sucks. By the way, I'm gonna cough because I'm asthmatic anyway, and the COVID did affect my lungs.
Mm-hmm.
So, but going into this year, I had a plan at the beginning of the year. As libertarian candidates, we're given like a little playbook if you know where you're looking. Like we have the resources at national to help candidates out.
Mm-hmm.
It's really nice. So no, this year was nothing like I imagined. It was nothing in person. Nebraska never shut down. We have businesses closed down, but the state's like, you guys, it's local. It's with school districts and mayors in your local health district. C'est la vie, go eat cake.
Yeah, no, my state was like my governor, His Majesty Andrew Cuomo II, oh hail the king. He literally said, no, I am the state, and I will dictate who is essential and not essential, and I will dictate when you're going to go to school or work or whatever. I control you with an iron fist.
Yes,
and my state said, okay.
Yeah, I watched actually Nebraska's politics. It's okay. So as a Nebraskan in our political system, we go off of each coast because we're in the middle, so we get to see everything, and it's trickle down. So we pay attention to New York.
As I always say, people should. We are the battleground state.
We pay attention to New York City specifically. So I was watching Andrew Cuomo this whole year. Mm-hmm. He is an emotional magician. He knows how to connect to the people and tear the emotion out of him.
While he's punching them.
Him and his nipple rings are just like, come to me. We're going to cry about it. And you're going to get stuck in this emotional state until I say that it's okay.
Absolutely. Yes. Andrew actually is with you. He says his dad's a certified welder as well.
Yeah. My grandpa was a welder, and my family settled in Nebraska.
There we go.
We were here since before the state, and so it's in my blood.
So Andrew also has a question for you.
Yes.
Should members of Congress, Senate, state, county, municipal governments, and the Supreme Court justices have term limits like how the president does? In both the Senate and Congress, we have people there too long. So I guess that's what he thinks. But where do you stand on this?
I agree. Nebraska, so I agree because we are not a dictatorship, and anybody in office too long that abuses that, as the four founders told you not to abuse, is an abuse of power. But then you go into if you're getting reelected by the people and you're doing a good job, then it's at the will of the people. So if there needs to children, that is enough. So, I mean, if you're going to have a constitutional amendment, then it needs to be voted on by the people. In Nebraska, we did that for our state senators because there were no term limits. And they actually, it's the way they did it for a racist reason. Okay. Senator Ernie Chambers is the longest seated senator in Nebraska state history. The first year he was elected was in 1971. Okay. Ernie Chambers is one of my political heroes. Okay. He is, if you don't know who he is, go Google him. I love him.
I can tell.
He is out of North Omaha. He doesn't campaign. He's an independent in the Nebraska state legislature. Okay. And he's been fighting the good fight. And so he they changed the law so that he couldn't be reelected again. So then he had to sit out an election cycle and then he was revoted back in.
So you're saying it was racist. Is he a person of color?
He is. He's black.
Ah, okay.
He is.
I didn't know that. So I'm asking.
Yeah, no, and you don't know that unless you tell him. But he is a brother, and he is a passionate man. And he let it go this year on the unicameral. Like, our legislative season this year was lit. We had senators flipping each other off.
Wow.
Ernie Chambers was calling people out by name for being racist.
Your buddy is here too.
Hi, Laura.
Laura says hi to both of us.
So
Laura.
Laura took me under her wing as a candidate.
Nice.
She saw me and she's like, "Oh, I like her. She's not crazy, just a little crazy."
So let me now go to the next step, though. You ran this election. Any lessons you learned that really stick out? I mean, there's probably 1,000 of them. I know when I ran, I learned like 15,000 lessons. But are there a couple that stick out that maybe someone listening who might say, "I'm going to try this too," might go, "Oh, I want to know that."
Yeah. So a couple things. I like to start out with this one point that was reaffirmed for me is if you're in a relationship, make sure that it's in a good spot and that you have your partner, because you need that in
100%,
your
yes.
cycle. You need your team. And so that's
people ask me, "Larry, why didn't I run for something this year?" I'm like, because I'd like to keep my marriage.
Yeah, I like my husband.
I like my wife. I've had her for 20 years. I kind of want to keep her.
Yeah, I like my husband a lot, and he I'm a big proponent of mental health and therapy, and we've been in couples therapy. His father passed away. It'll be 2 years in January. It was self-inflicted. So we took that upon ourselves during an election year, during a pandemic, while I'm running for office for the first time. And so that's my first advice, is just make sure you're got your house in order.
Absolutely.
And then the second one is social media can be your best friend, but it can also be your worst enemy. As I like to refer to myself, I'm a shit poster.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a meme lady. I wage wars on the internet like most libertarians because it's a social pool. As a candidate and elected official, as libertarians, I don't like to say is you do have to watch what you say on social media. What you say does have real-life consequences. So as a candidate, you get a lot of crap for censoring yourself, but you got to do it. You have to censor yourself. You need to listen to the people around you because they're trying to help you win, because we're all on the same team.
I'm not sure that second part's true.
Whatever.
I'm not sure they're all trying to help you win. I'm not sure about that.
But
no, that part's not
should
true.
be
Thank you.
goal.
Should be, yes.
So
actually, no.
In my perfect libertarian world, we're all working together as a team.
Yes, agreed. 100%. I'm with you, but look, I'm with you. I get the social media piece. I do it all the time. I rarely fight on social media. It's very rare that I do. It's very rare.
Backed off a couple years ago. If I'm triggered, I've had people goad me into them because I'm human. I get triggered.
Of course.
I'm passionate about subjects. So my suggestion is, if you're campaigning, have a social media team if you're able to.
I still have one.
I don't. I need one.
I still have one.
I need one.
Absolutely, yes. I completely agree with you on that, 100%. But the other thing I realize is there are a lot of people out there, to include libertarians. One of the lessons that I tell people all the time when they run for office is I say, when you run as a libertarian, you want to ask yourself before you run, can you take fighting a battle with one hand tied behind your back and there will be no recourse? You will simply fight an unfair battle.
And
can
it's
you
from
do
all sides.
Correct.
It's from all sides.
Can you do that? And if they go, well, no, it should be fair, don't run because it's going to be unfair. Number one. Number two, can you take someone punching you in the face emotionally and get back up? Right? Can you take that emotional punch in the face and get back up? If you go, no, don't run, because that's going to happen. 3, can you take a knife in the back from a fellow libertarian, and when they knife you in the back with every intention to finish you off, and when they don't, can you pull that knife out and go, I'm sorry, this is your property, and give it right back? Can you do that and then stay in the game after you get stabbed by a fellow libertarian? If you can't do that, you shouldn't run, because all 3 of those things will happen. I'm sure they happened to you.
They did.
Because they happen to everyone. And you didn't tell me that. I just know that happened to you because that always happens. And we have to accept it. Yes.
We're libertarians, and we are a political party, and we are political in nature, whether we like it or not.
Absolutely.
The only thing we can is change the culture within our own party. So if we don't like that in politics, then we need to stop doing it to each other.
Well, didn't you just tell me you want to be the change you want to see? Is that what you said?
Yeah, because of that, I have stepped back from the social media drama and only interject and pick my battles in which I see that they will be constructive.
That's what I'm saying. Absolutely.
Am I the bad guy? Yes. I am. But it's because I tell the truth and it's not pretty. I'm sorry.
So let me ask you the next piece, right? Was there any benefit or anything from up or down ticket, right? Having other people running around you, was that helpful or not? Because I see it in several different ways, right? I can see other libertarians running as showing the strength and, being a strong ticket. I can see it as taking resources away from each other. I can see it as one person doing something bad that hurts the other. There's many ways of seeing that happen. I was very lucky in my race. When I was running, I was really the only real guy of stature running in my state, right? There wasn't many people running that much in my state. Few of them were, but they weren't big, so it didn't really affect me much. And it wasn't a presidential year. So there was no top of the ticket. I was top of the ticket because of the year that I ran. But not everybody has that. Sometimes they have a huge slate of people running, up, down ticket. How did that affect you?
So in my own race in my own state, I went into my race already focusing solely on mine, in the mindset of I'm on my own, I have no help.
Got it.
I'm a libertarian, I'm part of the party, but we're so stretched thin in the people we have already that I already knew if I need help, I got to get it on my own.
Right.
I'm a libertarian.
Right.
So I ended up meeting Ashley Shade, outright libertarian.
She's
president.
brilliant.
She's amazing. She found me on Team Supreme. You can kind of see my little Team Supreme Vermin doll. Because, long story, I like vermin. Everybody loves vermin. It's vermin. So I found Ashley, and Ashley helped me as a first-time candidate.
Oh, very nice.
National, but all technical. I had no physical help here on the ground. I still had to do that stuff.
Sure.
And I forgot the question now.
It was, how did it matter? Were there other people in your slate that were helping?
Yes. So
was it only you?
No, it was not. So we had a congressional candidate. Puppies, stop, babies. No more fighting. Only love.
They're good libertarians.
They name him Rooster and Nemesis. I mean, it's fine. So Dustin Hobbs was running for my congressional district, but it was a paper-only campaign.
Got it.
He ended up having to not being able to campaign. He had a baby this year.
Oh, okay.
But it did help because his name was on the ballot because Nebraska has ballot access. We're on the ballot no matter what.
Oh,
so
got it.
People were reaching out to me because he's a veteran, and I have a lot of active military veteran friends, like all of my friends. Thanks, Iraqi. Anyway, so puppies. So because of his name on the ballot, people were reaching out to me. Who is he? What's he mean? Blah blah blah. Well, here's how you find him. Whatever. And then we had just a few more candidates on the east side. And then with Spike and Joe being on the ticket, like that stirred up a lot of conversation. So the up ticket did help me down ticket.
Were they able to come to your state?
So Spike came to Nebraska.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I didn't even tell that. I just said that Nemesis is... Goodness. Okay, so yeah, Spike ended up stopping in Lincoln. He actually had a couple of days where he actually got to rest, and it was nice for him.
Okay.
And we did have a rally, and it was fun, and Gene Sidek was running for District 2.
Okay, so the other libertarians running, this was helpful for you.
Yes.
Awesome.
It gave us visibility. We had earned
I
media.
love it.
Like I had earned media as a libertarian candidate, and we were actually able to in the state to put pressure on our local media because they were doing the blackout. All of Nebraska's media is owned by Sinclair Company.
Sure.
And they don't like libertarians. So like at my local news affiliate actually is getting upset at all the gags that they have put on them. So they were pushing Joe Jorgensen on a local level.
Oh, nice.
As an option because where I'm at, I'm a purple district because of the college. So it gives, like, in my race, I was running a very libertarian race in a very libertarian area. And it was really fun.
Sure.
24% of the vote. I had 4,098 votes.
Congratulations. It's amazing. 24% is awesome. That's knocking out of the park. Look at you go. So that gets me right to my next question then. What's the future?
I am, right now, since it's a lame year, I'm going to focus on my home life because family is the most important thing. That's why
Sure.
we're in politics, is because
Absolutely.
of our families. So I'm going to just focus. My husband started his new job today. He's sick, so he starts tomorrow. So I'm going to be back in the home, doing homemaking things, just being local, going to community meetings.
Good for you.
Meetings. And then maybe, it depends on if I get chickens this year or not. If I get
Okay.
chickens this year, I will not run for city council. If I do not get chickens this year, I am running for city council.
Because that's going to be one of your issues is chickens.
Yep.
So let me go back to that now. That's for city council. When you were running, what were your big issues? Were there? I mean, so there were lots of them. Were there a couple that were at top?
Mental health services in Nebraska was the top of my ticket issue because of the drug issues we have, and we have a lot of sex trafficking here, like a lot. And so that was my main one, and then criminal justice reform.
Do you see sex trafficking? And I'm only bringing this up because that term often gets misused.
Yeah.
Do you mean sex trafficking as in actually like bringing people from other countries like that? Sex trafficking?
So
what type do you mean by that?
So in Nebraska, I'm going to get closer for it because it's more serious. In Nebraska.
Okay, I'll get real close.
Yeah, in Nebraska, along the I-80 corridor,
Yeah.
We have a lot of abductions.
Oh, got it. Okay.
But we also have a high population of immigrants, Somalian, Hispanic, just from all over.
Sure.
So those are the primary people who are targeted, and they're immigrants, so then they're not easily trackable. And so the kidnappings and the abductions are the main problem, and it's all along the interstate. And
got it.
We do have people being brought in because it is an interstate.
Sure.
So, and I'm really loud about that and mental health because it's directly correlated.
No, I get it. So we're looking at sex trafficking, mental health. Now the mental health piece, is that you said it's heavily because that your concern is heavily because of the drug problem in Nebraska. That's the number one reason?
Yes, actually. So what prompted me to run extra hard was because all of my friends are in jail for drugs.
Got it.
If I'm looking at the local paper and 5 of the 6 people who were just busted for meth, I graduated with, grew up with, and know, and I know why they're in jail, because they're doing drugs because their brain hurts and they're poor and they can't get help. So that's an issue, which ties into the criminal justice reform, into the youth rehabilitation center that's here.
Got it.
So it's all mental health. Every problem you give me, I can directly pinpoint to mental health.
Got it. Okay, no, that makes sense. I get it. But the average person, when they hear mental health, you then tie it to the drug problem, and then people go, I got it. Makes sense. I see where you're going. Okay.
And even just access, because Kearney, we're a larger city in Nebraska because there's a lot of cows here. And so we're considered rural, which means that in this area of the state, which is almost the entire state, we don't have adequate mental health facility access.
Got it.
With telehealth this year, it helped.
Sure, I can imagine.
This year has been great for Nebraska's mental health, but also horrible. Yes.
Well, there's that I think is one of the advantages of COVID. I mean, even the COVID response was terrible and it has trashed our country without question. There are some silver linings, and one of the silver linings is the idea of telehealth has become much more mainstream because it had to be, right?
And having Joe at the top of her ticket and having her being a psychology lecturer really helped my campaign.
Nice.
A lot.
I'm glad to hear that. Good.
She was, thank you, Mama Joe. I appreciate you a whole bunch. Thank you.
There we go. So that one, and then the trafficking, do you link that to immigration or do you link that to sex work? What do you link that trafficking piece to?
I link that to drugs and...
That to drugs also?
It's meth. Meth is what they use to, we have a meth problem, we have a sex trafficking problem. Normally it's...
I immediately went to undocumented workers and you were like, no, meth. Okay, I like
it's
that.
Drugs.
Okay.
It's the prohibition, and it's the way the state is, where the resources are, and immigration does have a problem with it or plays a part into it, but then we have cartel activity and other things going on, so it's a multidimensional compound problem that's been exuberated by everything going on this year and in past years.
Got it.
It's just, it's not a pleasant subject or situation to be in. And I'm very vocal about it because we need to talk about it. People don't want to talk about it.
Otherwise, there's no answer.
Yes, we have to talk about it. And then we have to talk about the fallout and the impact and the repercussions of the people who are being trafficked.
Right. Yes.
That's, we
Yep.
got to take care of people.
Okay.
And I hate, and libertarian, like, whatever. I want to take care of society in a libertarian way.
I think
And
it's a
that
great
means
idea.
not making drugs prohibition.
I'm with you.
And not criminalizing sex acts. Because by criminalizing sexual acts, you're creating a black market for human trafficking. It makes it harder to protect victims if it's already illegal, because the victims don't want to come talk about it if it's illegal.
Right.
If there's drugs involved and you're being sexually assaulted, you're not going to come forward because you're going to get in trouble for the drugs. They don't care about the sexual assault. They care about the drugs.
That's, valid point. I love
We're
it.
a profit prison system.
So now that you've gone through these, right? Yeah. Did you see any movement? Is there someone who's picking up the flame now, picking up the torch that you're going to drop off while you go get your chickens? Is there someone who's picking up that torch, or no? Or are you going to have to pick it up again in 3 years or 4 years or something like that?
It's more of the torch is still in my hands, but I'm using it to light other people's torches, and so we're building the movement. So right now, in my own local area, I'm the secretary. We are trying to build. Oh, thanks, Ashley. So in my area, I've lit the flame in my area. I have other people starting to pop up and start to be active and keep it going.
I like that.
We've always been activists here. So even this year, being an activist while I was being a candidate, I mean, we staged protests. I led protests. That's how I earned my media.
Sure.
But I didn't tell them that I was a candidate. Like, I was very subvert. Like, I'm not telling you who I am. I'm anonymous. If you want to use it after the interview, oh, by the way, this is who I am. But because of that, it has implemented change in our own police force. Because the city council reached out to me and said, "Hey, we see you."
Nice.
They started changing a couple years ago. There's been change here, started a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But they reached out and said, we see you, we hear you. This is what we're doing. This is what we're going to continue to do. This is what's going on. This is our direction that we're going. So the momentum on the local sector here for mental health and rehabilitation and changing things is still moving.
I like it. Yeah, Joe says we shouldn't take peaceful people from their families and jobs and send them to prisons at taxpayer cost.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shouldn't criminalize mental health.
Yep. I love that. So let me ask you, before we wrap this up, is there anything that you want to bring up? Something I missed, or some piece of knowledge you want to impart upon our audience, or anything like that? A topic that I should have brought up that I dropped or missed?
No, I think we covered everything as candidates in the subject topic of our interview. I just like to impart.
Look how good I was.
You're professional, Larry. Look at you. I would just like to say, like, overall, I've only been in the party a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been an anarchist. I'm going to say it. My mom's an anarchist. Raised me as an anarchist. She's a lawyer, attorney at law, so we're not anarchists. She is the law. Oh, wait a minute.
She's not the law. She's a priest.
The law.
She's a priestess of the law.
That, and she's a Libra, so it fits.
There we go. Yeah.
So, I would just, like, my overall assessment of our party as we stand right now, because objectively looking at us as an organization, as people should do, we got a lot of bonding that we need to do across the party between the radical sides, and we as a party need to remember that we're all working toward the same goal, which is to defeat daddy government and abusing us. Daddy government's got us pinned to the wall with our arm behind our back, and mom is screaming in the corner. So we got some rescuing to do, and we can't do that if we're fighting with each other. And racism is a violation of the NAP.
Racism is a violation of the NAP.
Yeah.
You're gonna end on that one?
Yeah.
Come on, that's the one you're gonna end on. So you go the very last one
Okay, shit sandwich. Okay, and you are the power.
Racism is a violation of the NAP, and you are the power. All right, help me with the racism is a violation of the NAP. Help me with that one.
Oh, my dad's a Latino for Trump, and so
is that mean he's violating the NAP?
Yeah. He believes that other people are subservient to him and don't deserve the same rights that he has.
And that's violence.
if you're oppressing somebody else because their beliefs don't match yours, that is a violation of the NAP because you're limiting their right to freedom. If you don't think I should exist, if you don't think that I have the right to life because I'm mixed, that's a violation of the NAP.
So no, I'm okay. I just want to go here. So you're saying because someone joins Latinos for Trump, that by default means they think that that they are going to actively stop you from having your rights.
That's your end goal, to use the state to enforce their beliefs on me, which is an infringement of the way I want to live. If gay marriage is illegal and I can't get married, then my rights are infringed upon. If he wants people not to be trans because God said it's not right, then he's using his beliefs in the state to oppress me.
So you're saying so you're saying once I use the state to enforce my racist beliefs, then that's a violation of NAP.
Yes.
It's a little different than saying racism is a violation of NAP. I can buy the second one.
Shock comments, Larry. Shock.
Yeah,
comments.
I just want to make. I wanted to unpack that one. That's all. All right. Okay. I could buy that if you're saying I want to use the government to enforce my racist views, then that's a violation of NAP. I could buy that one, but I think people can be racist and not violate the NAP.
I have seen it.
I think they could.
I guess they're one of the good ones. I'll use their
one of the good ones.
I'll use
Look
their
at
mindset
you.
against. Yeah, I pulled an Ernie Chambers. Is what.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
Nicely done. I got to give you that one. Nicely done. I appreciate it. Anyway, for those of you who want more information on what's going on in Nebraska, please feel free. Head over to lpne.org. Check it out. Say hi. But if you also want to go in the show notes, you can also go check out our lovely, amazing guest, Mercedes, who is on Facebook. If you want to check her out, you can go there, check out her Facebook page, connect to her and bother her anyway and tease her about like her cats and her dogs or something. Or whatever you want to do, it's fine. Whatever. Just say hi, be connected. Because I have a feeling she's not going away, and you're probably going to see her again. That would be my guess.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You guys are stuck with me.
It's okay.
I like freedom or something.
I'm not complaining. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching Libertarian Drinking Coffee Live. Mercedes, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Happy New Year if I don't see you guys. If I don't see